What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. And today, we learned that the 24-25 Kia MVP is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shout out Shai, aka SGA, because he certainly deserves the award. The Thunder were the best team in the NBA, 68-14 record. And Shai was the league leader in scoring, played 76 games this season, averaging 32.7 points per night, 6.4 assists, and 5 rebounds, a block, and 1.7 steals. He had career highs in points, assists, and blocks. So this dude is incredibly consistent. I mean, there's not much else I can say about how consistent he has been for not just this season, but throughout his career. I mean, when he got to OKC, I think it took him a little bit to get into the groove of really being like the guy, right? So he went from the Clippers in 2018-19, was traded, in that big Paul George trade to Oklahoma City. Averaged 19 points per game in his first season with OKC, so that was a big jump from rookie to sophomore year for him. And then the season after that, 23.7 points per game. Season after that, 24.5. And then in the 22-23 season, the season in which he became an all-star for the first time, averaged 31.4 points per game. Then last season, 30.1 points per game. And this season, 32.7. So he is a scoring machine. And honestly, I don't know if I've said it before. I think I have said it before on this channel, but he reminds me a lot of Kobe. And for a while, I didn't really know why. Like, I couldn't really tell exactly what it was. But the way that he moves once he's, like, picked up his dribble and how he can manipulate the play from the post for a guard is very similar to Kobe, in my opinion. And he just scores at will. He's just extremely consistent. There's no excuse for missing a shot. He tries to do everything in his power to be the best player that he can be. And it's very admirable. So I do think, it's worth talking about the other players that got votes for MVP. The only other player that got votes from a first place vote perspective was Nikola Jokic, right? So the voting breakdown was Shai got 71 first place votes, 29 second place votes, and then Jokic got 29 first place votes, 71 second place votes, and then everyone else that got votes got either third, fourth, or fifth place votes. So Giannis came in third, Jason Tatum came in fourth, Donovan Mitchell came in fifth, LeBron sixth, Cade from Detroit was 7. Anthony Edwards was 8. Stephen Curry was 9. Jalen Brunson was 10. James Harden of the Clippers was 11. And Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers was number 12. So a lot of great players on this list. And it's awesome that LeBron is still getting votes at 40 years old. It's incredible. Shout out LeBron. But I thought Jokic was I thought this was going to be a closer race. It really wasn't. Shai getting 71 votes to Jokic's 29 is pretty wild to me. I mean, Jokic is a 3-time MVP, and this was by far the best season he's ever had in his career. He averaged a triple-double. So, it just seems crazy. But I think voter fatigue is a real thing. I think, taking into account the record that the Thunder amassed at 68-14 compared to the Nuggets record. They had 50 wins, the Nuggets did, so I think it makes sense. So Shai certainly deserves it. He's an amazing player, and I honestly think he's going to get even better than he already is. So this is his 7th year in the league. He's only going to get better. I could see him averaging 40 points per game if he really wanted to. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But I really also appreciated his speech that he gave. I only saw some portions of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but he's very appreciative of his teammates. He shouts out his teammates all the time. He's a big fan of Lou Dort. Lou Dort's been there with him since he got to OKC. And, I think he's a real team guy. And wants his teammates to succeed, and I believe he sees his success as his team's success and vice versa. So the other thing that was awesome was, he wound up getting emotional during his speech talking about his wife and his family. And, man, it's just great to see moments like that. Like, seeing a guy break down and get emotional just because of all the hard work that he's put in and, the supporting cast behind it. And just being able to have that moment with the people you love is awesome. So shout out Shai. I'm glad he had that moment. I'm so interested and excited to see what he does going forward in his career. I mean, there's a very, very high likelihood that he's an NBA champion after this season. So it'd be crazy for him to get the scoring title for the first time, get his first MVP award, and get his first NBA title all in the same season. So super exciting stuff. If you're an OKC fan, I can imagine you're hyped. But this is great for the NBA. I'm a big fan of Shai. And it just goes to show, like, you never really know how good a player can get, right? Like, I think everyone knew that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to be a great player, but I don't think anyone saw this coming. He came in the league, was averaging, 10, 11 points per game. No one really knew how good he was going to be. There was just a lot of faith that he could get to that point. And guess what? He did. So that's all I got, guys. Just wanted to drop that news. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the 24-25 Kia NBA MVP. Shout out Shai. I'm going to catch you guys later, man. Stay up, stay blessed, stay humble, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.